Good afternoon, everybody. Well, I'm sorry, not happy. Anyway, welcome to my special edition, a 9/11 edition of Cliff London Uncensored, of course. It's me, Cliff London. Uh, in this kind of darkness and solemn day, I thought that maybe I could share a little part of uh, my personal life with you all. Nothing deep, but just something that I'm going through at my place of employment. Now, I can't say the name for legal reasons, so I'm not going to do that because. But what I'm going to say is basically, in a nutshell, there is a certain uh, chain of management and who are the vast recipients of Hispanic privilege. It is favoritism. It is nepotism. Um, and now, which is usually things that, hey, do your thing. I just want to show up, do my time, go home, you know. But now, see, now let me tell a little backstory about these guys. Uh, Military C team, probably reservist, they talk about guns and stuff and act like they're tough. But see, I've sparred and been punched in the face by by the A team of warriors, and there is a big difference just by the physical stature. You there or not, they are not them, for sure. You can't glorify all these guys, so-called military tough guys. But the thing is that these guys, because there's a little bit of Napoleon complex going on too. But anyway, they're shorter guys, and they seem to always try to give the most laborious task and things to the tall, slender black dudes. Now, keep in mind, you guys know me. I'm not a wokety woke, but sometimes the stuff is just what it is. And even though I'm not in this person's brain and heart, don't know what it is, it's still messed up now because it shouldn't be done regardless. But the crux of this it's all come to a head, is the way that they've tried to mess with me. What has made this all come to head is that uh, they expect you to walk down 61 flights of metal stairs in dress shoes and a three-piece suit. Now, another thing about me is, I have 10 years dance training behind me, and I also have 13 years martial arts training behind me, and I have a knee that has been injured several times. Uh, Also, I've never even been in 61 flights before in the building. I had to take an elevator up to 57, hike up to 61, at which point I became dizzy at floor 57 because there's no ventilation, there's no windows inside the stairwell. Uh, I got to the top, I was immediately dizzy, had to catch myself. I slipped because of the sweat, but because these guys have gotten me in trouble before, just kind of ambush me with, a bunch of embellishment and lies. I was already, on the hot seat, so I didn't really, wasn't in a position to put up a fight. Uh, but I woke up the next morning after I completed the task, after nearly, literally risking my life to complete this task, and it's completely unnecessary to do because there's elevators. I thought to myself, what if I would have fallen and busted my head open? No one would have known for hours. No one would have known for hours. I could have died, working for a less than, mediocre place. I could have died. And I went, and so I went in, I went to tell my supervisor that, hey, I often show him my swollen knee, um, and tell him, hey, that can I just use the elevator so that I don't, so that I don't hurt myself, because, and I said, hey, I'll show you my knee, you know, uh, I have medical records I think I still have medical records to the contrary, as far as like past injuries, but I mean, it'd be a small packet. But anyway, it's something that you can look at. You can see the swelling. I mean, you can clearly see it. But he told me, nope, I don't want to see your swollen knee. and you still have to use the stairs. So so I went and did it to the best I could. I did a few floors and then it started hurting, and then I just said screw it. I used the elevator and I notated it, what was going on with myself. So that whole experience really made me lose my faith in humanity and just kind of put me in a place, because I am not perfect, but I strive to be the best version of myself that I could be the best, strive towards the Buddhist ideals. I really, really try to do the best I can and treat people with love and kindness and respect and deal with them as an individual. I really do. And I really couldn't figure out what I had done to these jerks. And then finally I realized that, I didn't do anything at all. Except the thing that I was guilty of is not taking crap off them and not just accepting it like a good little Negro and not speaking about it. And I decided that, it was time to, actually, like, I'm not going to do this. And so I started doing research because I knew that there was something wrong with this, that you can't just put someone in harm's way when there's another way. The checkpoints are literally right next to each other, and you're telling me that I have to do something that's very dangerous for anyone. Need trouble or not, it's dangerous. The building's probably designed so that you don't have to take the stairs. The stairs are like an emergency exit. The truth is that, they did this on the premise that they say that the exit signs weren't being checked and all that stuff. But hey, we used to do this stuff by hand, and there are a few brown nosers on staff that I know gave that man meticulous notes on every light that was out and everything. This stuff's been going over this man's desk for probably as long as I've been there. So he gets chewed out for not doing his job. And so his punishment is to make us do, because he thinks he's a military guy, that is to make us, just the three black guys, the shift before mine and the shift after mine, they have older people and people with disabilities and stuff. So a lot of them physically can't, or probably already have doctor's excuses. But so this all falls on my shift to take the punishment of walking up these dangerous steps. And when I went to him and said, hey man, this is painful. Hey man, I could hurt myself. This is dangerous. He told me to do it anyway. Any other time I would have sat around and been like, oh, woe is me, and been sad and put my head down and said, screw it, because I didn't want to deal with it. But you know what? Once I found out that these people were that what they were actually doing, since the first midget wrote me up, was actually harassment, because they were pointing me out and doing certain stuff to me for whatever reason, which I tried to talk to them about and say, hey, why are you, had I been more educated at the time, had I been more smarter at that moment, at the first sign of it, I would have started taking notes to be ready. Well, this time I'm ready. And the positive thing that I wanted to share with you guys and a bit of myself is this. I got the strength from the most unlikely place. I guess maybe not unlikely, but, I came home after that, last night actually, because I've been doing this, I've been fighting this since about Tuesday, this whole fiasco. And my wife, usually I sit on the couch and watch something and try to not to wake her, because it's important that her sleep's not disturbed. And she's snoring like big time. But she denies it, but she is. But she said to me this time, hey, come in here, because I'm going now. She's big as a house, but she want to go to a bachelorette party, whatever. She ain't gonna drink, I know that. But anyway, she says to me, come in here and lay with me and put your hand on my belly. I put my hand on her belly, and for the first time I felt, before I felt teeny tiny movements, but this time I felt full on kicks and a surge of energy and fear and self-doubt, and surged through me uh, I was afraid, insecure. I just was, oh my God, I am going to be responsible for this man's, it's a boy, upbringing. And it made me think about my daily life and what kind of man I want to uh, be perceived as and be for him. And when this shattering realization hit me, I realized that, you know what? It all goes into change. I'm not going to raise him to be submissive to this stuff and unconfident in himself and thinking that he has to take a back seat because he's black, like I was taught growing up, and I had to overcome it. That I have to do my best to know that, to let him know that equality, you can't legislate it, you can't riot it out of people, you can't force people. Equality is something that is earned. Reparations ain't happening. Sorry. But what you can do from this day on, black folk, is keep your nuclear families together. Start there. Because I tell you right now, mine is on the way, and just feeling that energy, it made me feel stronger than anything ever. Feeling that my son's movement, it just made me think that, hey, no matter what the situation is, if some rioters are attacking me and he has to watch me possibly die defending him, I want him to be able to say, my fucking dad fought. I want him to be able to say, my fucking dad fought. When he gets his first job down the line, way down the line, and and I reminisce on these horrible human beings that I have to tolerate right now. I don't want that story to be, well, I was in trouble, I was afraid, and I was being treated this way, but I just took it. So I want to be what I want him to be. And what he's not going to be is submissive, full of talk. Someone who doesn't realize that what they really want is a pat on the back from white folk. They'll tell on their co-workers, they'll tell on everybody, they'll snitch out anybody just for, to be in their favor, no matter how wrong it is. They get these little minuscule posts in life and sell their soul for a few bucks. But see, it gave but strength, damn it. Strength. It was like this eureka moment. It was like, Cliff, you got to fight back. You got to look up OSHA. I wrote a letter to Human Resources. I was like, no, I'm not going to let this guy just think that he can do this to me. They don't realize it, but it is. It is. Now, I don't do the race car shit because I'm going to go with me personally. But, however, perception is a motherfucker. He's really hard on us. Really lackadaisical on the other things. Short, we're tall, doesn't give two shits about our personal safety. Expendable. And best of all, the guy that just left and him, what it really is, and the main manager guy is really what they really are bad managers. And through Hispanic privilege have gotten these positions. I mean, I've managed a theater company, I've managed a gym, I've managed a head shop, I've managed a food place. I've managed a group of bouncers at a bar, and it takes a leader. You have to make people feel respected. You have to be fair. And they basically have no leadership qualities. Their main leadership quality is their insecurity. Back to what I was saying before, this work went through, these reports went through this guy's desk. He did fuck all and was in his office studying. And when he got called out on it, he blamed us, and the punishment was run these damn marathon steps. Not today, you evil motherfucker. No. So if I can persevere because of a moment of light, feeling my son move, maybe on this dark day, maybe there's something that you all, if you're having a bad day, or if today makes you sad, maybe there's something in your life that will give you a little bit of light, will make you reflect on the people's sacrifice and hope that their souls are cascading and around in some utopia and happy and free of this world and free of pain, and hopefully they are in heaven floating around nice and dandy drinking a fucking cherry limeade. Those are delicious. But yeah, I just really wanted to share just this eureka moment and how things can change in the blink of an eye. Basically overnight, I went from I don't really care that much, I'll just endure it until my kid is born and just, not cause anything. But then I thought to myself, no, I have to stand for something. You have to just, even if it's a simple fact that, even if it's something, I'm not really seeking any money, really, I just want to be left alone. I don't need any cash. I just want to be able to come to work and be able to not worry about being harassed. And so if I have to file some kind of document or complaint to say, hey, this dude's been doing this already, to give it strength the next time, I'm gonna do that. But I don't want this dude to be fired or anything, nothing like that, because that would be being who they are. That's who they are, and I'm not gonna be who they are. You don't have to become evil to be evil. You don't have to be a Sith Lord, even though they're more powerful. You can be a Jedi. No joke. And I learned that lesson from my son, who is going to be named Marlowe, by the way, after Christopher Marlowe, the man that they say wrote Shakespeare's plays. I don't believe it, but I've always loved that name, Marlowe, hence his name, be Marlowe. Wayne, after my weird-ass stepfather. Of course, London. But I abhor you all today. Find a moment in your life. In the darkest times, it's dreary, because we need it right now. And they still got these hooligans running around, and you have a bunch of fucking leftists wanting to destroy our republic. But it ain't happening today. Not today. As for today, we must honor those that have been lost and be grateful where we're at. And the best testament we can do, because I always say it doesn't matter how you treat someone when they're gone, it matters how you treat them when they're here. So mourn those above. Mourn those of you that have lost someone, but also try to fill that hole left by mourning with, give your loved one a hug. Tell your male friend, freak him out for a little bit and say, hey man, just so you know, I love you. Might freak him out a little bit, but something could happen. You might wish you said him that. You might wish you told him that. Anyway, everybody, just remember, you know it. There is no fate but what we make for ourselves. This is Cliff London Uncensored. Have a good day, everybody.